This episode of Improving Your Mental Health is on stigma and on the stigmas of mental health. And this is Improving Your Mental Health, Joseph Vivaldi. What are stigmas? Stigmas are negative connotations that help depict someone with mental health problems in a negative way. How are people affected by mental health stigmas? Well, for example, we may have a family member, we may have a friend, we may have people in an environment who spread the word that they are mentally sick. Let's use that for example. When they spread the word that they are mentally sick, it means disabled, and everyone around the town goes around thinking something of that person, and they say something to them, and the person with the illness has a negative reaction to it, and they feel bad and guilt-wise, and they feel something's wrong. It just hurts them as well. But I just want to say this. Stigmas in a negative connotation aren't good. Because, they're injuring. They can injure someone, and it could be a malice situation. They'll be like, oh, they're mentally sick. They're mentally ill. It might not really. You say constantly the person reacts, but the person could redeem themselves from it. Even though it's hard to say, because they'll have how many people who feel that they are ill or sick or whatnot. So, how did somebody come back from a stigma? Well, when you have somebody in the environment keep on saying that they're this, they're that, just pray that it goes away, but for the most part it doesn't. It sticks with you. When you have a mental health problem, people will react and people will attack. So that's why, they say, don't say when you have a mental illness, they'll categorize it. But first things first, I want to say, do they actually know what you go through, what you mentally go through, and how you actually deal with it, and stuff like that? Do they actually know? Could they actually say what you go through? Mental illness is basically based on environment. It's based on chemical imbalances in the body and mind, and how our diets are and stuff like that. If we're not doing something that has us active, then what are we doing? Yeah, it's like some people have addiction problems, some people have whatever. It's like to be labeled that. It's, you know, that's another story for another day. But I'm just saying that stigmas could hurt because somebody could have that stigma for a while and may never really get the true recovery that they need. And that's a shame. Because people may view you from that stigma of what happened to you 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago. But is that the same, and is it true now than it was yesterday? People may think that person is the same that they were the year before that. But do they know? For all they know, it could be a job that caused their stress. It could be a job. It could have been a person. You never know. But what defines the problem? It's what I like to ask. Because, you know, some people might be fighting something to protect that person from the harm, but, you know, the damage might be done from it. I don't know. Let's just say this. How does somebody come back from a stigma? Well, people have been redeemed before. And our history has shown it. Winston Churchill made that mistake in World War I, but he redeemed himself through his voice and leadership in the fireside chats. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. His weak spot was his voice. So he kept on working at it to improve it. Do we call Winston Churchill and condemn him for his mental illnesses today? No. We think he did very well. So, like I say, don't judge the book by the cover. Don't cast stones. They may be upset and angry about someone for those who were mentally ill. They may be upset. They may be aggravated because people may have judged someone they know for the matter. And they may have been judged themselves for the matter, and they might be lashing out. It could be one thing. Or it could be another, where they haven't found the inner peace yet. But for stigma, nobody could judge you but the man, or shall I say the higher being up above. It's the only one that's going to judge you. People can't judge you. Because you know what? Everybody struggles. Everybody's been there. People can be redeemed. That's all I'm saying. In my book, well, let's just say this. I'm releasing a book, hopefully around Christmas time, and it'll explain a little bit about redemption. So, this has been Improving Your Mental Health. I'm your host, Joseph Ivaldi. What can I say? Plugging Joe's Writers Club. Plug them many times. Plugging the books of Richard Andrew Olkis. Plugging EJE Sports Cards. Plugging my own stuff today. I'm plugging the Joseph Ivaldi Network, now on Patreon and on Spreaker. Please subscribe, become a member. I'm gonna share as best as I can, get enough of these podcasts ready, and when I release, they will be ready for release. So, again, this is Improving Your Mental Health. I'm your host, Joseph Ivaldi, and this has been an episode on Stigma.